Salut tout le monde. Alors j'espère que vous allez bien, que vous hydratez bien. Il fait très chaud en ce moment sur la France. Il est important de bien boire. Alors nous on va se retrouver pour le troisième épisode de ce Council. Ce Council c'est un jeu d'enquête où les choix que l'on effectue ont une importance sur le reste de l'histoire. C'est sorti mardi dernier et tout de suite on se retrouve pour découvrir la suite de cette aventure. Je pense que je peux faire continuer.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything, even to...
But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon.
I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know.
Since then, we have become one and the same.
Histoire de tous les
We have
protagonistes de
officially erased
l'histoire.
the identity of my sister Emma, Emily Hillsborough, the woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
Alors, distribuer nos points dans différents domaines, la politique, compétences linguistiques et érudition. Alors, à la fin du deuxième épisode, on était tombé sur ce cadavre qui, de mémoire, était situé sous un jardin. C'est 3 qui s'appelle Ripples.
Don't move.
Wait, I don't...
So you've come at last.
Easy. Let me turn around. Oh my god, Mother, what has happened to you?
Who are you?
What?
Je ne reconnais
But,
pas.
Mother,
Who are you?
it's me, Louis, your
Elle a
son.
pris un sévère coup
No,
sur la tête et
you
sur le nez.
lie. You won't catch me out like that. Louis isn't here. He obeys his mother. He would never have come here.
Mother, I don't know what you've been through, but lower your arm, please.
You think I was born yesterday, do you? But it won't work.
I'm begging you.
One day you will fall.
Mother!
Why are you here?
Oh là, confrontation. Est-ce qu'il y a un temps? Non. Lui rappeler la quête du livre. Est-ce que
I
ça peut
received
passer?
a letter from Lord Mortimer inviting me.
That's enough. You want to corrupt us all, one
Merde.
after the other.
Elle va
But you
finir
will
par me
never
tirer
get
dessus.
me. You are evil incarnate. Every word that comes out of your mouth is sharper than a razor blade.
I don't wish
Commence
you
fort
any
quand même.
harm. Really,
On va
Mother?
lui laisser un petit peu le
It's
temps
me,
de...
Louis.
dans
Don't
l'histoire.
speak to me about him. You will never get him.
Mother, stop torturing yourself. It really is me, Louis.
Deuxième
How can I
chance.
convince you?
If you really are who you say you are. What was the saying I taught you?
You've been telling it to me since I was 3 years old, Mother. How could I ever forget it? Always keep your mind logical. And open.
You knew it. You are smart.
Phew.
You're getting me muddled up. Tell me, rather, whose place were we at when I told you I was coming here?
Oh là
Mother,
là.
I really am your
Je me
son.
souviens plus,
You
moi.
can't trick me. We were in Paris.
Ah,
We were
ça va.
investigating an art dealer.
His name?
Oh là là. Beaucher, Morcher, Bolcher. J'en ai aucune idée. Je sais pas si... Non. Je sais plus s'il y a des trucs pour me donner des astuces. On va faire au choix. Hein.
I just told you, you can't trick me. His name was von Borchert.
My God, everything is lost then. I refuse to believe it's really you, Louis. Otherwise, all this would be for nothing.
Mother, I don't know what happened to you, but don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. I'm here for you and...
No! I ordered you not to come with me.
I received a letter and Lord Mortimer informed me of your disappearance. So I took the...
No! 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 It's not true. It's a nightmare. Don't tell me that. Have you spoken to him?
Oh, shit. She's completely panicked because I spoke to Mortimer. It seems she's afraid of what he might have said to me about her.
Did he speak to you?
Tata a-t-elle peur de ce qu'il m'aurait dit? On va la rassurer, il n'était pas là quand je suis arrivé.
Don't believe it. I thought I'd meet him the moment I arrived, given the situation. But not at all. He didn't even bother to meet me in person.
I imagine that Elizabeth was still here.
Yes.
Very well.
Bon, ça va.
Logical and
Je
open.
trouve qu'on s'en sort pas mal hein, pour une
Since you
première série de
arrived on the
choix
island, has
à froid
anything
comme ça.
strange happened to you?
Depends on what you mean by strange.
Alors, le meurtre d'Elisabeth, retrouver ma mère avec une main en moins, avoir des visions.
Like me having visions, for example?
I knew it! It started! Oh,
Hell,
Louis,
she's
I just
panicking.
wish I...
Yes,
panique,
it's
merde.
happened to me. Like when I was a boy. I find myself in someone else's
Oh
body
non!
for the space of a dream.
Oh, sérieux,
Have you
t'as fait
ever
chier.
dreamed of a different place to the one where you were sleeping without being able to explain it?
No.
Shit.
But mother, don't worry. I'm not losing my mind. Everything is fine. You used to give me a concoction to calm me down when I was little. So, just make some for me once we get back home.
Migraines? Loss of consciousness? Loss of control?
No, rest assured. All is well. I promise you.
What else?
Retrouver ma mère avec une main en moins. Bureau caché de Mortimer.
Everything I found in Lord Mortimer's secret
soft.
study.
You managed to get past the nightmare? I'm proud of you, Louis.
Ah,
But that's not what I meant by strange.
ça a l'air de mieux
He's
passer, ça.
nevertheless extending his influence across the world, Mother.
Ah, échoué
I
encore.
know, but that's
Putain.
not what concerns me right now.
Truc de dingue.
I asked you if anything strange has happened to you personally.
Je
If
vais
you
parler de lui.
really are who you say you are, then you'll do what I ask of you.
Which is...
Super.
A conference is going to be held. You will attend on my behalf.
No, wait, Mother. No one cares
You will
about...
be invited and you will go. Mortimer will present
Putain,
a
j'aurais dû parler
project.
de sa main en moins.
Whatever this project is,
But-
whatever the project is, I want you to learn as much as you can about it. You'll have to get by as best you can, but we must find out what it's about. Do you understand?
Don't you think that before all that, there are a few issues to be addressed?
Do you understand?
Yes.
C'est bon, j'ai compris, tiens pas.
All right, I understand.
I'll explain afterward, but right now you must go to the conference. Go now.
You do realize you're still treating me like a...
Go!
If you aren't there when I get back, I warn you. One more thing, Mother. Emily Hillsborough, Emma's sister, came to this island looking for her sister. She probably won't hesitate to take revenge and...
It's
Lors de
the
la petite
signal that the
réunion.
conference is starting, Louis. Don't be concerned about the Duchess. She's the last of our worries.
Bon, là on est remonté. Hein. Fin de l'épisode 2, il y avait une énigme, il fallait qu'on trouve l'accès au jardin. De mémoire, c'était un vrai labyrinthe, le truc. On va essayer de retrouver notre chemin. Ah ouais, non, elle a pris un sacré coup derrière la tête. Par contre, ils ont été un peu durs de nous prendre comme ça dès le début, avec des énigmes. De mémoire. Alors, est-ce que c'est par là? Mais en tout cas, je me souviens, c'est sur une espèce de terrasse où on se réunit.
Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing at the
Ouais,
conference.
c'est ici.
Please join the guests.
Je m'en souviens bien. s'il attend plus que moi, pourquoi il me laisse pas passer
Monsieur de Richet, you're the only one missing.
Ah ouais, d'accord, donc c'est que c'est pas là.
Please join the guests.
Tac, tac. On passe d'un étage à un autre.
Devil's Thorn.
Un truc à ramasser. C'est peut-être pas un. Qu'est-ce qu'il me dit?
Monsieur de Richet, you are expected at the conference. Please take the door to your left to join the guests.
D'accord. Lui au moins il est sympa, il me dit où il faut que j'aille. Joignez le colloque, c'est fait, rejoindre Lord Mortimer.
Good evening, gentlemen. Are we ready? The much-awaited conference is about to begin?
That is what we have all been waiting for.
I believe that Lord Mortimer wishes to speak to you before it begins. You should go and see him. Are you quite sure, sir? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
I don't know if you ever found what you were looking for in the garden, but Mortimer is waiting for you. I suggest you get a move on.
You say it as if you were afraid of him. What frightens you so much about him?
Hurry up. He's waiting for you.
My son, glad you're here. It seems Lord Mortimer's been waiting for you to arrive before beginning. What a pity your mother isn't here for the conference. I hope I'll be able to see her before I leave. I still have a very important letter.
Ouais, j'ai lu dans un des tests, alors j'ai pas voulu trop me spoiler, mais ils disent que les synchros labiales sont pas terribles. C'est vrai que tout à l'heure,
Lord Mortimer wants to talk to you, Louis. Don't
vraiment
make
les
him
lèvres ne
wait.
bougeaient pas. Alors, ils vont parler du jardin, ça va pas m'aider ça. Non, c'est par là. Puis la razzia d'objets.
Ah, Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake.
Thank you kindly, but what do you expect of me exactly? My mother's the one who's supposed to attend, not me.
That is indeed what was initially intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin, and it would be truly beneficial to the Order to join in the project. Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence. What is at stake here is of the utmost importance.
It's important that the French Order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry. You are not alone, Louis.
Very well.
Alors, qu'est-ce que le colloque? Comment fonctionne le colloque?
Can you give me a brief explanation of the aim of it all?
Of course, Louis, I was coming to that. The aim of these meetings is to bring together the most influential people in order to think together about the future.
But the future of who?
Of the world, Louis.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
In concrete terms, how do you organize your discussions?
A conference is always organized the same way. There are two masters of ceremony who determine an important subject.
You and Sir Gregory, I presume.
Exactly. We shall be the masters of ceremony. It was our obligation to each bring to the table several guests in order to debate a subject. Once the debate is closed, a decision will be made by a vote of all the participants.
By a unanimous vote. If the project is not agreed on by all, then it will be rejected.
And neither of the two masters of ceremony have the right to vote.
It's up to the guests alone to decide, Louis. In other words, us.
Gregory and myself are merely the go-betweens. Finally, if the project is validated, each guest goes home and starts working to make it happen.
It can take years.
How long have you been active?
Oh, this tradition has more or less always existed, Louis. It has continued from generation to generation.
Do you often hold this kind of society dinner?
In general, once a year, but in actual fact it tends to be events that dictate our gatherings.
Can you give me an example of an event that was decided here before being implemented in the outside world?
Well, take the French Revolution. It was decided right here 2 years before its implementation in France.
Concerning the case of the French Revolution, I wasn't invited. But as far as the American Revolution is concerned, Louis, I can testify that we planned it 5 years before implementing it, for example.
Louis, let me keep you a moment. I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin, because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French.
Quel rapport avec moi? Tu penses, à mon avis, il veut que j'influence les autres?
How does that concern me?
Well, you see, I prepared this project with your mother. We began thinking about a crazy idea. Unfortunately, Sarah went missing before getting the bigger picture. I don't intend to stop at Louisiana. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
Pourquoi tout leur dire? Bah ouais. Problème de la politique, pourquoi ne pas être transparent? Je vois toujours pas le rapport avec moi, ouais.
But why spread it over 2 phases? Why not announce the overall project immediately?
Unfortunately, if Spain were to hear that the intention of all this is to allow the United States to grow, they would never sign. Manuel Godoy is perfectly aware of President Washington's appetite. If the United States took Louisiana, Godoy would know full well that he will have lost the entire North American continent. Things must take place in several stages. Otherwise, the change will be too brutal, and he will have no choice but to reject the project. Take a look at them. Apart from President Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs visionaries, like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis. It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We will have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
Plastic, Mother.
You didn't know about everything. His project is commendable. Why tell me to beware? Could you have gotten it wrong?
Bah, je pense qu'il y gagne pas grand chose là, le personnage. C'est surtout qu'il doit jouer le rôle que sa mère aurait eu si elle avait été là. Hein. Et comme si j'avais réussi l'affrontement avec ma mère, c'est elle qui serait venue. Là pour l'instant, en fait, je fais que boucher un trou dans l'histoire.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur. I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
Le remercier de l'accueil, moucher gaudois. On va rester soft.
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I
pense que j'ai bien fait de ne pas lui répondre à l'autre tout à l'heure.
You will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
Ah, il va la donner.
I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not the question.
Ce sont pas des sauvages, ouais, gardez le silence. Je pense qu'il faut que je reste soft.
Spain should cede Louisiana to France, free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
Il va falloir que j'intervienne. Cela vous protégerait des Américains, pas bête. Cela vous protégerait des Anglais. Ah, on peut tenter ça. Ça me coûte des points, mais est-ce que je peux... Ouais, on va faire ça.
If I were you, Senor Godoy, I would think twice before stirring up a scandal.
I beg your pardon?
Given the size of your colonies, you won't be able to keep them for long. A number of countries are eyeing them as we speak. The United States would have no trouble taking them. For all intents and purposes, you have no army in place. By wanting to keep everything, you risk losing it all, especially your colonies in South America, which are far more valuable to you.
That is indeed the danger, Duke Manuel. If it comes to war over Louisiana, you will lose. and probably a good deal more than you now imagine.
Young man, you are indeed
Ça aide
a
pas
dark horse,
à retrouver qui est qui.
I
Hein.
must say, William,
C'est dommage.
I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my
Lui, c'est George
power
Washington,
to calm
celui qui a
your
le
expansionist fervor.
petit nœud là.
France, in
Mémoire, c'est
Louisiana,
les États-Unis.
should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
Maintenant, c'est les
I should
aspects
think Monsieur
religieux.
de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
La France protégera les chrétiens. La France pourrait se passer de la vie du pape. Je crois que ça va pas trop le faire, ça. On va se rajouter des points encore.
Your Eminence, have no fear over that. I am sure France will do everything in its power to protect the Christians of Louisiana.
Il va rester
My
insensible.
young friend, how can you come out with such a remark after the discussion we had on the evening of your
Il se souvient
arrival?
de ce que je lui ai
If
dit.
France was so respectful of worship, it would not be bleeding priests as it is doing
Il a un
at
coup
this
d'épée dans
very
l'eau, là.
moment in time. Don't be naive. This is politics. The Holy See must
Napoléon,
be
c'est celui que j'ai mis
concerned
en
seeing such a
couverture de
large
la vidéo.
territory
Mais il n'a pas
falling
parlé
into
pour
the
moi.
hands of the French. Mi auguro che insegnerete l'educazione a questo
Désolé,
giovanotto
je parle pas italien.
presuntuoso, Sir Gregory.
De toute façon, je peux rien faire. Hein. Jauge de temps. Lorsque le temps imparti est terminé, une réponse est sélectionnée automatiquement. Ouais. De toute façon, j'ai pas de.
In any
Pas
case,
de
my
choix.
lord,
Il n'y avait
I
pas de
doubt
choix, c'est
the
quoi ce merde?
English crown will agree.
Ich versichere Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung
Ah, lui il parle allemand maintenant. Bah, ah oui, d'accord. Ok. J'avais pas vu.
I
c'était-
assure you, Emily, the Prussian will never.
Je m'attendais à un choix.
Volner looks like he's set on ruining Mortimer's
Il faudra rappeler
plan.
un petit peu quand même les systèmes
Duchess, I
d'interaction.
am persuaded
Comme en
that we
plus les
shall
épisodes ils
find
sortent
common
avec
ground.
That's enough,
3
William.
mois
These
d'intervalle.
are great times.
C'est un
We
peu.
don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo.
Gigolo
Lower the
sells.
volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Home, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare
Gentlemen, let us try to
C'est en train
remain
de s'emballer
calm.
là.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us.
Ah, je sais
As
plus qui
per
il est, mais
usual.
il est très spécial.
Chaos.
Hein.
That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me.
Ça, c'est lui qui a tout dynamité.
Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
Comment je me fais manipuler? Là, j'ai un choix. Rester avec Mortimer ou partir avec Holm et puis toute la clique. Moi, je resterais bien avec la grande brune, là, avec sa jolie robe, mais... Politiquement, enfin, si je joue le rôle de ma mère, je reste avec Mortimer. Si je veux continuer à être bien vu de tous mes petits collègues, faudrait que j'aille avec Holm. Premier dilemme, bon, allez, on va rester.
As for me, I think I shall remain with Lord Mortimer, Sir Gregory.
You are committing a grave error, Louis.
Time will tell.
C'est plus par cohérence avec le positionnement de ma mère.
My friends, I would like to thank you for staying.
Là, Napoléon est avec nous.
What is this I hear about you reinforcing military power in Louisiana? I have no interest in having France for a neighbor, and you know that very well.
Calm down, George. Louis,
George Washington.
Explain our plan to Mr. Washington, please.
Je ne suis pas sûr d'avoir bien compris. Les États-Unis vont s'agrandir. Tiens, il est là, Napoléon.
You see, Mr. President, Lord Mortimer anticipates that once France obtains Louisiana, they will cede it to you.
Ouais, c'est un peu ça, ouais, c'est clair, elle la connaît même pas. C'est pas ce que j'ai fait d'ailleurs avec elle.
You heard right, but President Washington, the United States will double in size.
By what miracle have you...
You need to expand, George. You and France are the two major democracies in the modern world. It is necessary that you both become superpowers.
Are you really going to sponsor democracy throughout the world?
Of course, Monsieur.
Lui, il est avec la France, mais je sais plus comment il s'appelle. Et c'est lui qui m'a défoncé le visage lors du premier épisode.
Explain my vision to Mr. President.
Bien sûr, franchement, j'ai pas tout compris. Difficulté, nana. Bien sûr.
Mr. President, Lord Mortimer intends for you to conquer all the North American continents. He's relying on you to not stop at Louisiana, but to continue to push west.
Indeed, it would be dishonest to pretend that this is not my final objective.
But why didn't you tell me before?
Ah, bonne question. Pour plus de spontanéité, pour garder un coup d'avance, ouais.
So that Lord Mortimer would appear to be isolated without support.
Exactly. You got it, Louis.
Lord Mortimer retains the advantage by advancing undercover.
Ouais. Bah, il agressait pas la brune, il agressait une fille qui a disparu ou qui est morte.
You haven't changed. Always one step ahead.
One step ahead? You're joking. More like 5.
On that note, my friends, it's getting late. Mr. President, continue to take offense over my project when we resume the conference in the morning. You do it to a T. And if Sir Gregory has the audacity to send you an emissary to convince you to go against me, do me a favor. String him along if you can. The more they believe we are divided, the more we'll have our hands free.
Only too happy to oblige.
Now, let us get some rest. We've got a big day tomorrow. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Louis, if you have a minute, I would like to ask a favor of you. I'm going to require your services.
How can I be of help? Tell me all about it.
Our adversaries are many, and the closing vote of the conference will soon be upon us. Time is of an essence. So, I'll need you to assist me this evening.
How can I help?
I need you to go this very evening to persuade Signor Godoy to join us. He is the backbone of Gregory's resistance. Turn him round, and all the others will follow in such a stampede that Gregory will be able to do nothing but admit defeat.
Lord Mortimer, with all due respect, don't you think I'm the last person Godoy wants to talk to?
I'm sure you can do it. I believe.
Godoy, est-ce que c'est celui qui est trop fortement maquillé? Il me cache quelque chose.
Lord Mortimer, you're not telling me everything.
Let's say I wouldn't disapprove if the Right Honorable, though nonetheless choleric, Duke Manuel put you in his bad books. If it could motivate him to declare war on France, it would greatly serve our interests.
War? What do you mean?
I told you before the conference. The more we distract Spain from the less it will have an eye on Louisiana.
But all the same, we're talking about a war in Europe.
Don't worry. That's why Mr. Bonaparte is with us. I am convinced we'll be perfectly capable of managing the conflict. And Signor Godoy is not a great soldier. He will not commit Spain to a long war that he won't be capable of managing.
Ah, c'est peut-être le patron de
Thank you, my boy. And get some rest afterwards. Big day tomorrow.
Si c'est Spyro le dragon, non. Non, non. Je suis pas le genre de jeu. Est-ce que je peux encore lui demander un
Aren't
truc?
you afraid our projects for Italy may be discovered before we... Oh. Please excuse us, Louis, but I need to speak with Lord Mortimer in private.
Ça veut dire gentiment, casse-toi.
What do you want, Louis?
Conseil pour aborder
I'm going
le
to have a
doigt,
word
ça c'est
with
pas mal.
Duplain well, but you know him better than I do, I believe.
Yes. Avoid any marks of respect and
Différence et
protocol
protocole dû à
pertaining
son
to his
rang.
rank. He's not fond of courtly manners.
Thank you for the advice, my lord. When are we supposed to vote?
The conference resumes tomorrow morning. That leaves little time for the little favor I spoke to you about.
Indeed. I'll go straight away. I shall be leaving you. Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Ah non, j'ai pas d'info là-dessus. Alors où est-ce qu'ils sont tous passés hein? Là je suis perdu dans leur... Putain, on va peut-être descendre. En espérant qu'il soit là et qu'il soit pas retourné dans sa chambre, j'en ai peur. Bizarre que je puisse aller dans le jardin parce qu'il y a des personnes qui traînent. Je sais pas si je peux retourner voir ma mère. Me faire engueuler, j'ai pas réussi à ce qu'elle voulait. Peut-être pas une bonne idée. Hein. Pour voir s'il y a des PNJ qui traînent, non. Ah. Ouais, je pense aussi. Mais c'est bizarre que j'ai... Oh putain. Pourquoi j'ai accès au jardin s'il n'y a rien à y faire? Des trucs à choper. Toujours utile. Putain, la maniabilité, c'est pas ça. Bordel. Ça y est. Non. C'est quoi ce bordel? Par là, mal. Là normalement on peut retourner à l'intérieur. Bon donc les chambres, c'est par là. Hein.
The song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near. His brain is oozing by their ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything.
Amber.
Yes. Normalement, ils ont leur nom devant les chambres. Ça doit nous aider.
Monsieur Johann von Wunder.
Ça serait bien ma chambre pour que je puisse y rentrer comme ça, non? C'est là où il y avait des super d'énigmes. Ah, ça, je m'en souviens bien de celle-là. Bien prise de tête. Cherche Kikos, cherche. Ah. Ça avait été mis en dessous, je me souviens.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Léon.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Ah, peut-être aller la voir, elle. Non. Ah, dommage. La jolie brune va attendre. Ah, tiens, qu'est-ce qu'il fait, lui?
Ah,
Manuel
Monsieur de
Vaudois.
Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I
Putain, on le
wanted to
cherche tous les
speak
deux.
to him, but no one will open the door. I'm not sure he's in there.
Aïe.
If I want to pass through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way.
Avez-vous essayé d'entrer? Faire partir? Forcer le passage, énorme. S'éloigner.
Perhaps he didn't hear you. Did you try entering?
No, of course not. It would not be proper, after
Bon bah
all.
casse-toi alors. Ah sérieux. Le faire sortir.
Oh, now wait a minute. Yes, I remember now. I think I saw him in the
Va voir
garden.
là-bas si j'y suis. Mort de rire.
Garden? No, you must be mistaken. I've just come from there. I would have
Ouais,
seen
moi
him.
aussi.
Oh, I must have
J'en
seen
viens
someone else
donc.
then.
Most certainly. Oh well, he's
Je
bound
reste
to
là,
turn
attends.
up at
Non.
some point.
Oh
I'll
là là,
wait.
le pénible.
Impossible to get through with him glued in front of the door. I'll have to find another way into Godoy's room. Duke Manuel Godoy.
Ah, le relou. Je peux peut-être passer par le balcon. Je sais pas si j'ai accès à la chambre qui est en... Qui est là.
That's me.
Louis de Richet, c'est lui. C'est moi. Le loup. Ouais, le coup du balcon, je pense que c'est une bonne idée. Alors, est-ce qu'on va tomber sur son cadavre? Clé à motif. Putain.
Mary Louise of Parma. How ironic having a painting of the Queen of Spain in one's room, my Lord Duke.
Marquer quelque chose.
It looks like someone's hidden something on the back of this painting. It's a letter. Of course, it's written in Spanish. It reeks of lavender. Well, well, Monsieur Godoy. You seem very interested in hiding this letter. Another secret romance, I presume?
Traduire, ouais, non, puis je suis pas assez de points de toute façon. Je suis baisé. Monsieur le Duc, voici les informations obtenues par nos services de renseignement. Je vous confirme que Monsieur Ed travaille effectivement sur un accord avec la Grande-Bretagne. Le but semble d'affaiblir l'économie française, mais en sous-main également espagnole, par la saisie de marchandises en mer. Nos comptoirs souffrent déjà de l'embargo sur les denrées françaises. Un tel traité signerait la ruine de nos colonies. Je ne doute pas que vous saurez rapidement trouver une issue diplomatique dans l'attente de nouvelles instructions.
Manuel Godoy. A painting of himself in his room. Now that's not going to help him develop a sense of modesty. Honey, the remedy of the
Yes.
gods.
Julie Royal. On va tout de suite se les mettre.
Kiss of Judas, painted by Caravaggio. This is how Judas pointed out Christ to the Roman soldiers. Can you imagine a worse betrayal? Prometheus, punished for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to man. Charles IV of Spain. Now there's no chance of Godoy forgetting who he owes everything to.
Amber.
C'est bien, ça a annulé tous mes trucs négatifs, ça. Vous voyez pas c'est où Loulou là?
Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim. I have to think about that one. Volner's probably still behind the door. I'd best go out through the balcony just in case.
Non, par contre, c'est-à-dire qu'il est pas là. Hein. Chut. Ça explique pourquoi est-ce qu'on m'a laissé aller dans le jardin, à mon avis, et ailleurs. C'est mes appartements. Putain, mais où est-ce qu'il est passé? C'est toujours devant.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Je peux pas lui parler. Soit par élimination, on va bien réussir à savoir où il faut qu'on aille.
President George Washington.
Ah, je vais le voir.
Locked.
Projeté. Yes, je peux le faire. Puis là, il y a quelqu'un qui rentre. Oh putain, le matos.
President's personal reserve of laudanum, and judging by the quantity, you can't go without it. Ah, there's also a letter.
Président, je vous fais réponse au plus vite. Nous en avons déjà parlé avant votre départ, mais je constate que ça ne s'améliore pas. Je vous presse de suivre mon conseil et de stopper votre prise de laudanum instantanément. Je cherche déjà un substitut, mais vous ne pouvez plus attendre, j'en ai bien peur. Votre trop grande consommation risque de nuire définitivement à votre prochain mandat. Votre dépendance met en péril vos plus hautes fonctions, mon ami. Je n'y vois aucune solution si ce n'est d'arrêter votre prise quotidienne. Et donc à moitié drogué.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to share. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Your friend, William.
Carmelite water. You say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Lâche-les. On va sortir par ce balcon. Continuer de faire le tour.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Putain, j'ai l'impression que je suis revenu en arrière. Ça, on avait déjà fait un petit tour.
All right, I've retrieved everything.
On va juste regarder s'il y a des objets sympas. Je me souviens pas d'avoir visité le balcon intérieur. D'ici j'ai une jolie vue sur le jardin, je peux voir s'il y a un mec qui est planqué.
Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Ça c'est où j'étais tout à l'heure.
Golden elixir.
Ah non, c'est autre chose. D'accord, tout se ressemble.
The Great Work of the Soul by S. Madone. Pure alchemy is a thought, an art that is performed on the matter of the soul. Great alchemists work to transform and perfect the latter by a series of processes known as the Great Work. There are 4 phases to attain the ultimate in spiritual fulfillment. The human soul must descend, be corrupt, in order to become decomposed. It's something like what I felt when I think of what I found out about my mother. Very metaphorical as occult theories go, the human spirit being the prima materia of the alchemist.
Alors on a rencontré notre mère à la fin de l'épisode 2, je me souviens plus si c'était introduit, mais en gros on a retrouvé notre mère, on n'a pas réussi à la convaincre pour qu'elle vienne avec nous, on va dire lors d'un grand colloque où il y avait tous les protagonistes. Et l'objectif de la rencontre avec tous les protagonistes, c'était un petit peu politique, c'était à propos de la Louisiane. L'objectif c'était que l'Espagne la cède à la France. Donc pour l'instant c'est en pourparlers et je dirais entre 2 réunions, là il faut qu'on trouve le représentant de l'Espagne pour le convaincre de l'idée. Voilà. Ah bah c'est bien, Lapin est en train de résumer de son côté, comme ça on peut voir si on dit la même chose. Je ne pense pas qu'ils sont planqués ici. Ça serait...
The chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Crocheté. Voilà. Si ça peut marcher. Et ça m'a pas coûté un seul point. On n'est pas venu pour rien. Ouais, alors cette histoire, c'est très très politique. Hein. Et d'ailleurs, nous, en fait, on a remplacé notre mère et l'objectif, c'était vraiment de faire avaler la couleuvre aux Espagnols. Je remonterai bien si possible. Je laisse faire là. Ils ne veulent pas. Je pense qu'il faut descendre. Hein. Vu qu'on a l'opportunité, je pense qu'il est dans les étages du dessous. Je pense que ça va être fermé. Ouais. Je pense pas que ce soit le jardin. Ouvrons grand les yeux. On a la bibliothèque. Ouais, c'est un peu ça. Mais en fait, à la fois on m'a donné le boulot et à la fois c'était le rôle que ma mère aurait dû avoir si elle avait été là ou si j'avais pu la convaincre de venir. D'ailleurs, ça aurait été intéressant de voir comment ça aurait été managé par notre maman. Alors, la tablée. Ah, bravo lapin. Il disait qu'il était en train de bouffer. Alors, il est pas en train de bouffer, mais il joue du piano. Profiter 2 secondes de la vue. Ah, il y a quelques bottins. Le voilà.
Duke Manuel?
Well, well. Monsieur de Richet, I was not expecting you. I am not in the mood, sir, I warn you. What do you want from me, sir?
Début de la confrontation. Alors, le rallié à Mortimer. Pourquoi s'est-il énervé?
I see you're still feeling under pressure. Since your arrival, I've noticed that you've been on the defensive. It seems to me that Monsieur Peru has a knack for getting your back up.
That is the least you can say. Indeed, I was warned. I knew what to expect. For God's sake, why in the hell did your people execute their king? Have the French gone stark raving mad? There are nothing but monarchies in power in Europe. They will all come crashing down on you.
We shall see. It might well turn out to be the opposite.
Yes, ça
you
passe.
certainly do not lack for audacity, young man. Just tell me one thing, monsieur. Why did you side with Mortimer? He is alone, isolated. The United States can do nothing to help you, and France is surrounded by over 10 countries, just waiting for the word to pounce. Really, I do not see why you choose Mortimer.
Parce qu'il va battre Rome, parce que l'ordre soutient Mortimer. Les États-Unis deviendraient le plus grand État démocratique du monde. Ouais. De toute façon, j'ai pas accès. Ouais, politique indisponible. Putain. Ça me coûte 4 points et ça se trouve, ça va pas marcher en plus. Putain, je vais tenter ça, mais je sais pas pourquoi je le sens pas.
The Golden Order, my friend. The Order is everywhere. We come from France. We are present in the United States, England, and many other countries. We have ambitions and the means to carry them out. You'll see, once all hell breaks out and your English support starts to fade away. It's an international organization. It matters little what governments do. Otherwise, why would Mortimer have gone to the trouble of inviting my mother?
Yes.
If you are right, Sir Gregory has got it all wrong. Tell me, do you really believe Spain has any interest in ceding
Quelconque
Louisiana
intérêt.
to France?
Lutter contre l'Angleterre ensemble. Là, comme ça, je vois pas. Ah, la réponse... l'Espagne pourrait en tirer un bon prix. La Louisiane pose plus de problèmes. Ah, ça peut le faire. On peut lui parler d'argent. On va tenter
I'm
ça.
convinced that Spain could get a very, very tidy price for the territory.
Were you sleeping during the conference? Did you not hear Lord Mortimer ask me to cede it free of charge?
Ah oui,
Yes,
merde.
but you...
No. You listen, young man. Do us a favor and stop poking your nose into grown-up business. You are wasting my time. Tell me one last thing. What would I gain from all this?
Consolider votre position à la cour d'Espagne. Pousser à bout, le faire chanter.
My Lord Duke, in these uncertain times, I believe it would be to your advantage to be rid of Louisiana in order to focus your attention on your colonies in the south. It will show the court the man you really are and how much you truly deserve.
Non mais il y a trop d'informations,
And
on
it
n'a pas le
will
temps de tout
silence all
intégrer.
the jibes and jeers aimed at my person. Then people would only see me as the man who consolidated the frontiers of the Spanish Empire.
What a statesman
Yes.
you are.
Come on, you fool, give it up. You're trapped like a rat.
Lâche le morceau.
Monsieur, I am astounded.
Vous m'avez
Nothing
bluffé,
too
yes.
capable, but you have succeeded. I will be
Oh
more
là là.
wary of you the
Un
next
peu en
time.
plus en politique.
Nonetheless,
J'écoute
you
pas
can
mais je lui ai mis
guarantee
la
Lord
carotte.
Mortimer's support. Then yes, you can count on my vote when the
Ouais
time
ouais, et
comes.
puis le problème c'est
However,
qu'en plus de parler beaucoup, il
I
y a
expect you to be
il y
discreet
a un flux
with regard to my
d'informations
former
importantes et d'autres
partners,
qui sont
without
complètement...
which our agreement would become null and void.
Of
Ah, c'est
course,
ce qui
my
fait
Lord
aussi la
Duke.
force du jeu,
You
mais
can count on me. Lord
on peut
Mortimer
passer à
will be
côté de
delighted to
certains
hear the
éléments.
news.
I hope you know what you are getting into, Louis. I bid you good luck.
Good night, my Lord Duke. See you tomorrow.
Well, that's one thing out of the way. The only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
Please,
Bon, on a réussi en
leave me,
tout
sir.
cas.
From
C'est
now
bien.
on, no one must see us together.
Ah, faut pas qu'on nous voie ensemble. Allez, dodo. Est-ce qu'on peut manger un petit truc sympa? Le pain a l'air sympa, mais il y a que du pain. Il y a que du pain. La méga bibliothèque. Putain, les peintures sont quand même assez jolies, hein. Alors, le chemin le plus court pour aller à mon lit. Je me souviens, c'était juste à côté de là où il y avait l'autre pénible qui attendait justement le représentant de l'Espagne. Bah en fait, dans le labyrinthe, on tombait sur un corps, mais en fait, on s'y est peu attardé comme notre mère nous est tombée dessus. Mais depuis, il n'y a pas eu de meurtre. Est-ce que la jolie brune... Ah, yes.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, you're here. What a charming surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
Non, non, non. Pas du tout, pas du tout. Va dormir, Louis, ce n'est pas le moment. J'adore.
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, you surprised me during the conference.
Why's that?
Well, you are going to lose. Why stay with Lord Mortimer?
I believe he has every chance of winning.
My, you are a rash one. However, if ever you want to change sides, please feel free to let me know.
But tell me, you didn't come here to try and make me change my mind, did you?
That's the last thing on my mind. Although you would have everything to gain by it.
Je préfère Mortimer, pourquoi je changerai de camp? De toute façon, je suis pas bon en politique.
There's no point trying to persuade me.
À part si elle me loue ses services. Là, à la rigueur, je pourrais changer d'avis.
If you trust me, you ought to ask yourself why I have chosen home.
Allez, ça va marcher, hein. Vous avez confiance en moi, n'est-ce pas? Non, mais fais-lui croire que oui. J'aime pas trop je veux pas trop lui mentir. Je lui fais confiance, mais je sens qu'elle veut effectivement user de ses charmes.
Of course, Emily.
Admit though that it does make you think. There's still time, you know. Join us before it's too late.
Changer de camp, non, rester avec Mortimer. Surtout qu'elle m'a pas fait de. Elle m'a même pas fait de proposition. Donc là, en fait, elle me propose de changer de camp pour rien. Donc. Moi ça m'arrange pas, hein. Je veux qu'elle fasse monter les enchères.
Unfortunately, my word is my bond. I don't want to leave Lord Mortimer in the lurch.
Very well, as you wish. It's up to you to decide.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
Ouais, je l'ai vu. Lui parler de Sarah, lui mentir, lui dire qu'on l'a revue.
I've seen her, Emily.
What? When was that?
A little earlier, just before the conference. She was hiding.
And did you manage to speak to her?
She's not the same. I don't know what's been happening to her, but she's changed. I found her in a deplorable state with one of her hands cut off. She was saying crazy things, bordering on delirium.
What? Did you say one of her hands was cut off? What happened to her?
I don't know. She wouldn't say.
On va pas laisser le temps, elle avait un flingue planté sur ma tête.
Why she shot Emma?
No. Unfortunately, we were unable to broach the subject. She seemed terribly upset, Emily. There's something strange going on here. She was fearful of something or someone.
Excuse me, Louis, but until we see proof of the contrary, she's the one who is sowing death everywhere she goes.
Oh.
We are the ones who ought to be fearful.
I know.
No, I apologize for that remark. Who do you think she's hiding from? Mortimer?
I don't know. Maybe.
Louis, I don't want to pile it on, but I would understand her feelings there. You ought to be wary of Mortimer. He's a manipulator, a liar, a coward who doesn't assume his responsibilities at all.
What exactly happened between you two, Emily? You're so radically against him.
Can we change subject, please? I didn't
come here to go through
all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Come, Louis.
Avec la journée, c'est bien terminé. Ah, est-ce que je vais encore avoir mes missions?
Do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him.
Je pense que il me voit pas en fait. C'est comme si j'étais un fantôme.
Hillsborough. Why isn't she here? She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her.
What are we going to do about Washington?
He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king.
Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing, to keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim. He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around.
Dans l'épisode 2, il nous en avait un petit peu plus
montré. Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please, excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Ah, celui avec le maquillage, c'est le pire.
Emily? Emily? Are you there?
Non, elle est partie.
Typical. There she goes again. What's with this
Elle a eu ce
habit
qu'elle
of hers
voulait, elle est
of taking
repartie.
off in the middle of the night?
Alors, Colloque, acte 2.
Sir, the conference is about to begin. You are expected in the conference room.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you.
Come on, Louis. The game is back on.
On y retourne.
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me reassure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
Against. Against.
And you, Duke Manuel?
Well,
normalement, on l'a convaincu. Hein.
It is more complicated and it...
Godoy?
Calm, Gregory. Don't try to impress my guests, please.
They are not your guests.
Gregory, anyone under my roof is by definition my guest. You included. I would be very grateful if you would let my guests speak. Duke Manuel, you were saying you still had some doubts?
Well, you see, the situation has changed since last night.
What's going on here, my Lord Duke?
You see, I gave it some thought during the night. New arguments have come to light.
What do you mean, Duke Manuel?
Sir Gregory, I regret to inform you that Spain will not support you in this operation. I vote for. Moreover, in response to arguments brought to my attention, I declare war on France.
Ah bon?
What is he doing?
If you think France is afraid of you, you are dreaming.
Over 10 nations rise against you, young man. And you behave like a yapping little dog?
When the French armies are at your door, my Lord Duke, you will change your tune.
Ça, je crois que c'était pas prévu.
As for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily
c'est complètement ça, ouais, ça fait très sec.
last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it be otherwise? And by the way, remember me to your husband when you see him. And you, President Washington, what is your position?
For, of course.
Well, that leaves just yourself and Monsieur Peru, Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My Lord Duke this, and Madame Duchess that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques, Camille.
Let's end the charade. It's over.
Il a tout balancé, lui.
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
Come, Jacques, we'll talk it over.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord. I shall no longer work for you.
Si j'interviens, il est capable de me tirer dessus, ce con, ou tirer sur quelqu'un d'autre. Oh là là. Oh, le dilemme. Puis d'un autre côté, il m'a bien amoché, il peut crever, mais d'un autre côté, c'est lui qui peut faire la balance par rapport pas intervenir. Putain. Ouais, mais sincèrement, il faisait la balance entre les pour et le contre, donc je serais bien intervenu, mais je sens qu'il va me tirer dessus. Ça me rappelle trop Détroit Become Human. À un moment donné, lors de l'interrogatoire, on intervient et il nous tire dessus.
I've had enough of your money, your influence, your power. I want my freedom back. I want my damn life back.
Bon. Eh ben bon Dieu. Bon, ils nous ont pas mis une super mare de sang. Allez, première partie de cet épisode 3, le colloque. Alors qu'est-ce qu'on a réussi? J'ai choisi de suivre Lord Mortimer, j'ai participé au colloque, j'ai convaincu Manuel Godoy, je ne me suis pas laissé convaincre par Lady Hillsborough, j'ai couché avec Lady Hillsborough, hein, il nous le confirme. Ensuite raté, je n'ai pas sauvé Jack Perru, je n'ai pas rassuré Sarah de Richer, ça c'était ma maman. Alternative, donc j'aurais pu me laisser convaincre par Lady Hillsborough, j'aurais pu suivre Sir Gregory Holm, j'aurais pu découvrir le secret de Jacques Perru, j'aurais pu découvrir le secret de Napoléon Bonaparte et j'aurais pu découvrir un secret au sujet de Sir Gregory Holm. Ouais, non, je continue sur ma lancée. Donc là c'est les différents points, on va continuer à... Merde, il me manque un, mais c'est pas grave. Valide. Un petit succès en jeu dangereux.
I don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Perrault has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down.
Ah, je sais pas quand je termine encore.
We are all in shock, of course.
It's absolutely incomprehensible.
As you say.
No idea what he could have blamed himself for. But the poor man was literally racked with remorse.
What a pity he did not seek the mercy of the Lord. He is forever damned now.
I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
C'est bien, on va avoir plus de cordes à notre arc hein, par rapport aux discussions et aux choix associés.
I wanted to see you to apologize for all these events. I am absolutely bowled over by what has just happened. Who would have thought that Monsieur Perrault would have taken his own life like that?
I don't know. We weren't inside his mind.
Of course. Oh, I did notice that he seemed to have a lot on his mind since he arrived here. The burden of his position, the difficult political atmosphere in Paris. But never did I think he would go to such an extreme.
He could have asked for help. No one held his hand when he pulled the trigger. We cannot blame ourselves despite the gravity of the act.
I admit that I did have serious doubts about him. I found him wary.
Sous ses airs de gros dur, c'est bien le dernier que
After such an act, I agree it is difficult to say whether or not he had all his mental faculties. On that note, my lord, I'll be leaving you. Have we covered everything?
Absolutely. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please. I wanted to thank you for your support during the conference. You've made the right choice, and it gives me tremendous satisfaction to have you with me on this project.
Salut Zuma. Alors vous avez fait le bon choix, je me félicite. Ça vaut le coup, on va perdre. Ouais, super optimiste le gars.
What is at stake is worth it, my lord. Now, I won't hide from you the fact that I have no idea by what miracle we could ever get a unanimous vote.
Trust me, Louis. We still have a few more cards to play. You'll see. Anything can happen in politics.
I'll see you later, my lord.
Retournez dans votre chambre. Pour moi, Anthony Hopkins, c'est surtout l'acteur du silence des agneaux. Après, il a peut-être joué dans Transformers. Qu'est-ce qu'il nous raconte, lui?
Your Eminence. Ah, Louis. What a disturbing turn of events.
Tu m'étonnes.
What just happened is terrible. Who could have guessed that Monsieur Perrault was in such a bad way?
No one, Your Eminence. No one.
It's not going to help matters for Mortimer. Now
Ouais, c'est vrai qu'il joue aux armes. Il n'est pas trop ému finalement, effectivement. Coup dur pour Mortimer.
You don't seem too affected by it, though.
Louis, I do not appreciate your remark, which I will put down to the indiscretions of youth. I am here in the interests of the Holy See. But I am above all a Christian, and it hurts me to see lost souls take a wrong turn.
Of course, of course.
I hope that Monsieur Perrault's act will help you reconsider your choice, Louis. Sincerely, see where his support for Lord Mortimer got him.
Le nargué pour Gaudois. Pivot de Gaudois.
As for you,
Je suis un enfoiré.
I'd advise
Je suis
you
vraiment un enfoiré.
to be wary of your allies.
Come, Louis. I am past the age of being influenced by simple posturing. I am tired now. Let us resume our discussion later, if you don't mind.
As you please, Your Eminence.
Ça fait 2 fois quand même que je l'ai vanné. Hein. Bah, c'est la chambre pourtant. Ah non, c'est du cardinal. Ah oui. Est-ce qu'elle va être encore là, la jolie brune?
Next time, I'll listen to my mother.
Ouais, tout à fait. Il a joué dans James Bond, mais quand il était jeune. Rock, effectivement.
What now?
La brune, la brune, la brune.
Louis, open up,
Non,
please.
c'est pas la brune.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
George Washington.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly.
You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
putain, où est-ce qu'elle est, sa piole à elle? Ça c'est espagnol. Émilie. Putain.
I do believe that's Emily's voice.
Écoutez à la porte, frapper, s'éloigner. Trouver un moyen d'entrer. Fermer. Essayer de crocheter, yes. Ah, c'est bien ça d'avoir développé cette compétence. En plus, ça me coûte pas de points. Non, je peux pas.
I'll have to find another way in, quick.
Ouais, je pense qu'il faut que frapper, écoutez. Frapper.
Emily, Emily, are you there? Answer me. Emily.
Est-ce que ça se dispute ou pas?
I can't understand what she's saying.
Faut que j'essaye de passer par un balcon ou... Balcon.
I have to get inside Emily's room through the...
Ah, c'est fermé, putain. Forcé, crocheté. On va tout défoncer. Ouais. À se péter l'épaule. T'as mis Mr. Black? Crocheter la serrure. Petit cambrioleur. Yes. Ça m'aurait coûté beaucoup de points de la péter. Voilà. Fermé. Yes. Alors.
It's as if there are several people inside.
Ils sont où? Ils ont pas l'air de trop crier.
Addressed to Emily. A letter from William Pitt, the elder, addressed to Emily. English Prime Minister. Two coils circle the loft.
Ça c'est quand même vachement bien de pouvoir tout projeter. Puis là je vais entendre un coup de feu.
Thank you for the information. I've managed to find out about the names you gave me. George Washington is a man you can trust. In spite of his obvious talent for politics, he has remained upright and honest. On the other hand, as you may well know, he is already doing business with Lord Mortimer.
Ah, il aime bien se faufiler et épier les gens.
Napoleon Bonaparte was unknown to me until today. He's a passionate young French soldier for whom Mortimer predicts a promising future. Take heed. He is a man of conviction, which to my mind makes him potentially dangerous. As for Sarah de Richet, what more is there to say? You already know each other. She was apparently invited by Lord Mortimer about an ongoing matter in Paris that concerns a receiver in stolen art. See you soon. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Dear Gregory.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Il y a d'autres trucs à choper avant de... Oh merde! J'ai pas entendu de coup de feu pourtant. Elle a buté la mère.
What on earth is...
What the fuck?
You... Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk after everything I've done for
Ah
you.
merde!
You are joking,
Elles sont deux.
right? I gave you my life.
Bon, laquelle avec qui j'ai passé la nuit?
Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games.
Mais comment je fais pour savoir qui est qui?
What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Je suis tellement doué que je vais me planter. Moi, je dirais c'est celle qui est en face de ma mère.
This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You prissy little bitch! How dare you? Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on.
Bon, déjà posez vos flingues, là il va arriver un accident.
Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going?
An entire life for this.
No,
Go on,
no.
shoot.
No,
sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Ouais, je suis assez d'accord. Ouais. Pourquoi ça m'arrive à moi?
Come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure there's no doubt.
Rational and open. Let's see.
Comme je me souviens de rien.
How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival.
La nuit de notre arrivée, ouais. Moi j'irai celle d'en face. Qui était avec nous? Quel est mon métier? Que m'avez-vous donné? Que m'est-il arrivé? Putain. Ouais, qui était avec nous?
Who was with us on the wharf?
Cardinal Piaggi. He was with us from when we started traveling by ship. We arrived on the same boat. I already told her.
Ah merde, super.
Another question then. I'm the one who told you.
Et pourquoi lui a tout raconté aussi? Elle est con,
hein.
Putain.
Ah yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
Alors, parlons un peu de mon arrivée au manoir. Questionnaire, je vais mettre en face. Comment Mortimer nous a accueillis? Putain, je me souviens même pas. Qui était déjà présent près de la cheminée? Peut-être ça, parce que c'est...
On the night of our arrival, we were warming ourselves in front of the fire. Mortimer welcomed us in a certain way. What happened exactly?
Well played, Louis. Unfortunately, I'm not the one you should have asked that question to.
Oh.
Mortimer did not welcome us. It was Sir Gregory who welcomed us that night.
Super.
Mortimer didn't show up until 2 days later. I know that as well.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll.
À quelle raison baiser? Je viens de voir ton commentaire, énorme. Alors, nous sommes-nous vus? Nous sommes-nous parlé?
Do you remember if we saw each other that night or not?
Not at all. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once Louis has exposed you.
Right. I don't think I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot.
Ouais, j'ai quand même l'impression que la fausse c'est celle qui a le gun, hein. Ben up, Ouroboros.
Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
We found ourselves in Mortimer's secret gallery. What did we find in that room?
A load of old junk that Mortimer had collected. A so-called Pandora's box in the form of an urn. An old sheepskin that he must take for the Golden Fleece. The Bible of Judas. Property deeds as old as the hills. And a broken old sword. You are wasting your time, Louis. She already knows all that. Of course I do. I was there. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well. Let's talk about us.
J'ai pas tout vu, moi. Putain. De quoi avons-nous discuté? Quelle était la raison de votre visite hier soir? Pourquoi avoir passé la nuit ensemble hier soir?
Last night, you came to visit me, and I can't help wondering why. Why did you come to my room?
Louis, you must be mistaken. I did not go to your room last night, and that's where your little game ends, Emma. Because I never told you about it. So, there you can't answer. What?
What?
No!
Putain, va lui tirer dessus, ça se trouve.
I didn't want you to be
Ils sont pas obligés de s'entretuer, on peut sortir avec les deux, moi ça me gêne pas les jumelles. Hein.
Whenever you felt you were competing against a man. You dirty.
That's enough. I've had enough of this charade. That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
Emily est face à vous, Emily est derrière vous. Moi, pour moi, elle est derrière.
You are Emily Hillsborough.
I knew you wouldn't get it wrong, Louis. No! You little bitch! Watch out, Louis! No!
Putain.
Hell, what have I done?
See what you've done. See.
Ah putain, la mère, elle se relève.
What on earth is going on?
Mother! Go! You must leave.
J'espère qu'elle a pas de gun, elle va pas tirer sur...
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess?
Oh, le bordel.
All right?
Go! Go, Mother! No one must find you here.
Go.
Come, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Non, non, moi je
Mother,
quitte pas la
go to the
brune.
crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Emily.
Madam, I'm coming in.
It was bound to end like this, Louis. Let me stay with her, please. Go, I'll cover you.
Ah, le bordel. Non, non, mais c'est sûr, on s'est pas trompé. Hein.
Bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
Retrouvez votre mère dans la crypte.
They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
De toute façon, je pense qu'il faut...
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room. She isn't answering.
Ok, à plus.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
My instructions are clear, sir. No one is to enter.
retrouve le jardin, mais je crois que c'est pas là. C'est la grande salle de réunion. La crypte.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and logical. I know you are going to find it hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess. Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Home does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Home had sent Volner to get it for him.
Home and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Là, faut qu'elle m'éclaire. Hein. N'entre pas dans ces délires. Hein. Si, en fait, mais ouais, mais sur la base de quoi?
Mother, I shan't follow you down that path. I wouldn't be doing you any favors.
Logical and open, Louis. Tell me then, How can anyone own properties all over the world for centuries by always signing documents with the same signature?
Well, I can find 10 other explanations less eccentric than demonic possession, Mother.
How come the Mortimers have had only one male heir for each generation since the Third Crusade?
Forgery, family rights, where they get rid of the daughter. There are dozens of less extravagant possibilities.
How could one man motivate so many future leading figures of the day on his silly island without anyone finding out about it? Even the Golden Order isn't capable of that.
Well, he's simply better than us, and he's welcome to it.
You refuse to open your eyes, Louis.
You've lost your objectivity, Mother.
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him, or rather he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
Salut Gabriel. Moi je dirais Mortimer.
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages. He helped me understand certain passages, until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
Merde, elle a cédé.
And you refused, of course.
Why, naturally, Louis. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing.
Alors, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé avec Elisabeth? Que s'est-il passé avec Emma? Pourquoi des canons pour Bonaparte? Avez-vous négocié à l'Azif avec Volner? Je serais curieux de savoir ce qui s'est passé avec la sœur jumelle.
I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
Soit, nous verrons plus tard, dites-moi tout. Ouais, non, je veux savoir.
Mother, I won't take a step further if you don't answer me.
You dare blackmail me?
I'm listening.
Ouais,
all right, I used her. So there you are. Happy now? We had the Al-Azif, and I didn't think we would be able to escape with it. In order to ensure that the book did not fall into their hands, or that one of them couldn't read in us where we had hidden it. I asked Emily to...
It's Emma.
Yes, or rather for me, it was Emily. So I asked Emma to hide it without anyone seeing. And then I disposed of her. I am sorry for her, but she was part of the Golden Order, Louis. She knew the rules when she joined.
I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Do you know who killed her?
Absolutely not.
What did you negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Since when does the Order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
Samuel Ritter du Choix, you wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
You know, I found your package under a wharf plank.
As a matter of fact, I needed it yesterday. I wasn't expecting anyone to take it.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
C'est clair que là, au niveau de l'histoire, c'est dense, hein, faut suivre. Tiens, Sam.
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that, I shall show you.
Quoi? Ça va me montrer. Bon, bah, je crois qu'on a fait le tour.
Good. I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
There. That's why we are here.
Les fresques. Oh putain, ça sent l'énigme ça. Bethléem, Nazareth, Bethesda. Ah, fin de la deuxième partie face à face. Alors qu'est-ce qu'on a réussi, qu'est-ce qu'on a manqué et quels auraient été les choix alternatifs? Alors on a réussi, on a découvert que le cardinal Piaggi ne s'est pas laissé perturber par les événements. J'ai réussi à passer par la chambre de Napoléon Bonaparte sans laisser de traces. J'ai protégé l'une des deux jumelles. Je suis allé voir l'attroupement devant la chambre de Lady Hasbro. Alternative, j'aurais pu être témoin de la résolution de Napoléon Bonaparte. J'aurais pu apprendre quelque chose sur Al-Azif. Encore quelques points de compétence. Nouveau succès, double jeu.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 6 objects before we try anything.
Are your 6 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Alors, par rapport aux deux jumelles, en fait, je leur ai posé des questions. L'objectif, c'était de déceler qui était la vraie Emily et qui était Emma, la jumelle. Et en fait, j'ai réussi, en la questionnant sur la dernière nuit qu'on avait passée ensemble, j'ai réussi à savoir qui était on va dire qui était la sœur et qui était Emily, parce que Emily n'avait pas raconté la dernière soirée à sa jumelle, donc forcément elle n'était pas au courant. Et en fait, ça s'est un peu chahuté, et en choisissant la bonne sœur, dans le cadre d'un accident, j'ai tué Emma, la jumelle. Alors, la croix, les clous.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea. But it
la fausse, c'était celle qui était en face, en fait.
What you are going to use to activate
la vraie
the
était derrière
mechanism.
moi.
I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it.
Ah bah,
when I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my
pocket. Où est-ce qu'elle a perdu sa main? Ouais, fais des efforts.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving.
One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone, because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6646.
Alors c'est génial, hein, il nous balance un flux d'informations, mais c'est un truc de fou, quoi. Surtout que moi je préférerais plutôt prendre les objets les uns derrière les autres. Putain. C'est bon. D'accord. Alors, je pense que de toute façon, si je rediscute avec elle, voilà, c'est bon. Je voulais m'assurer que on va déjà chercher la croix. Donc, visiblement, elle a perdu son bras, donc il doit y avoir un petit peu de sang, ça devrait nous aider. Super, c'était l'autre, c'est pas grave.
Famous cross of Clément III. Perfect. And one key found.
Ah bah ça y est, je l'ai. Putain. Sérieux? Alors j'ai un peu un reflet sur mon écran là. J'ai pas vu de marre de sang, mais bon, j'ai la croix. On est content. Mettre la croix, je suppose. Schlink. Oh mais je pense que si on... Si on résume une histoire d'espèce de secte secrète qui prend des décisions... alors après l'histoire du démon là c'est un peu dire ça en parallèle, tous ils peuvent nous raconter ce qu'ils veulent, mais... Là ce qu'il faut savoir c'est qu'on a encore 4 objets à trouver.
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
Derrière son
And a
cauchemar.
golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course. Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
And a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course.
Est-ce que je demande pour le reste ou est-ce que ça va m'embrouiller?
An exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, really. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
There's one in the portrait gallery.
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see.
Bon là j'ai pas du tout où est la sphère.
There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
Ouais, bon, on va déjà chercher Le truc là entre la cheminée et la chambre du... Suivez les notes.
Amber crystals.
Alors c'est marrant parce que la cheminée par contre ça me parle pas des masses. J'espère qu'il n'y en a pas trop dans le jeu. Là ça se trouve, il pourrait bien y en avoir une là, juste en face. Ouais, il y a des cheminées partout. Ça peut pas être celle-là.
Not too shocked.
I beg your pardon?
About Peru this morning. I asked you if you weren't too shocked by it all.
Non, non, tout va bien.
And yourself? Not too shook up?
The only thing that matters to me about that stupid man Peru is the disastrous situation in which it puts us for the conference vote. I wonder why
Il est vachement traumatisé par la mort de son collègue.
He was a veritable public danger.
J'adore son accent anglais.
You don't seem to be too affected. Tell me. I was wondering.
Ah, sphère. Ah,
you wouldn't know where to find an armillary sphere, would you?
Do you really think this is the right time? Oh, ask Volner. I am sure he will know. What with him being passionate about astronomy, you ought to get on fine together. Leave me now. I need to think of a solution.
I won't keep you any longer. See you later, monsieur.
Bon, on a chopé au moins une bonne info là. Voilà, c'est pas cette cheminée. Je peux poser. Putain, elle est énorme celle-là. C'est marrant, ça me parle, mais alors pas du tout.
The quorum guide.
Ouais, je me souviens, c'est là où j'ai fait crever un oiseau. Le pauvre. Pauvre cuit-cuit.
Right. This time, it'll be a lot quicker. If I remember rightly, the code was 1191.
Ah, ils sont sympas, moi je m'étais noté les numéros et ils nous les donnent.
Blasted. What was that code again?
Tu te fous de ma gueule ou quoi? Ah merde, quel con, putain, j'ai percé le 9 et le... Voilà. Ça devrait mieux marcher. Yes.
Of course.
Là je crois que c'est les clous. Hein.
It's locked.
Ça normalement on les avait déjà regardés lors du précédent épisode.
If Mortimer's plan succeeds, the United States will indeed double size. It would mean the end of the Spanish presence in North America. There. Those are the nails I was looking for.
Prendre les clous, non, on n'analyse rien.
Feathers, pigeons probably. Microscope? The most sophisticated microscope there is. When I think of the difficulty the Order had in getting hold
Alors
of
c'est
one
The
of
Council, c'est un petit peu un équivalent des jeux de chez Telltale en fait. C'est un jeu d'enquête dans lequel les choix que l'on fait vont avoir une incidence sur le reste de l'aventure. C'est un jeu extrêmement narratif. Hein. Déverrouillé. Yes. Qu'est-ce que c'est bien d'avoir développé des compétences Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il nous reste? Les clous, c'est fait. La Bible. Gutenberg. Utilisé avec Emma dans la salle de la tour. Salle secrète de la galerie des portraits. Sphère. Ça, c'est l'un des gars qui doit nous... Salut Valérie. Alors je sais pas si t'as vu, j'ai créé une chaîne détente dans laquelle je continue de faire pas mal de Hitman. Bon, je pense qu'ici on a fait le tour, il va falloir sortir.
Alright, come on, let's get out of here. 6466 if I remember correctly.
Ah bah c'est bien, on n'a pas besoin de retaper le code.
A painting. Looks unfinished. A piece by Lord Mortimer, I presume. A rather avant-garde.
Ça s'appelle Frédéric Emma 45 détente. Sur la page de garde, tu le vois sur la droite. Il y a une chaîne gaming et il y a une chaîne détente. Normalement on en a fini ici. Il y a un indice, il y a la salle des portraits, ça peut peut-être m'aider pour... Il y a également la bibliothèque. Ah oui, complètement, c'est prévu, il est déjà précommandé d'ailleurs. C'est pour ça que j'ai pu faire des vidéos sur Hitman Sniper Assassin qui est en fait le bonus de précommande du jeu. On va regarder la map. Tac tac tac, couloir, chambre de Washington. Ah, Volner, voilà. Lui, normalement, on nous a donné un indice comme quoi il devrait avoir une sphère. Non, c'est pas celui-là. Chambre de la tour également. Ah, si. Non, on va aller voir Volner déjà. Tac. Est-ce qu'il est. Putain, il est pas là.
The alchemist is an old man.
Est-ce qu'il va y avoir une sphère qui... Ah, c'est vrai que la fin d'année va être dense d'ailleurs. À partir de début septembre, il va y avoir un calendrier de jeux sur la chaîne qui sera très très complet. Il va y avoir du Spider-Man, il va y avoir du Tomb Raider, il y aura du FIFA 19. Que sur septembre et puis en octobre ça va être encore plus complet. Fouiller un élixir d'or. Non, j'aurais préféré que ce soit une sphère, mais bon.
The signs of obscurantism.
Ah, fait chier, pourquoi il est pas là, l'autre zozo là? Chier.
The alchemist is a young man.
Pas de bol, hein. Je cherche, il est pas là. Salut Lolo.
Perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away.
Ah bah elle est là. Oh putain. Et j'étais prête à me barrer ici. Et en fait la sphère était posée juste là. Ah. Ah, j'ai vu un truc qui brille là avant de partir.
A Greek drachma. One of the rare ancient coins to be mentioned both in the Bible and in the Quran.
Alors ensuite, l'exégèse et la Bible. La Bible, on nous dit utiliser avec Emma dans la salle de la tour. Ici on regarde la map. Chambre de la tour. Chambre de la tour et l'autre c'est quoi? Comment ils appellent ça en termes de... Salle de la tour, merde, de toute façon c'est pas la même chose. On peut aller faire un tour, mais de toute façon on a encore la bibliothèque, hein, allez voir.
Ah, Louis, glad you're here.
George Washington.
He's gonna talk about my mother.
Come and see what I found.
Non, non, je veux pas te
There are
poser, toi.
pieces of paper in the ashes of the chimney. Someone's been burning something here.
Incredible. He doesn't seem to want to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters. Show me a little.
Look, it's possible to distinguish two different writing styles.
The rest of the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried to burn an exchange of messages. I'm certain. There must be more.
Shit. What on earth is he doing?
Manipuler, diversion, dire la vérité. Oh bah non. Ah, on nous oblige à dépenser nos points en fait.
If you want my opinion, a servant must have burnt some old papers. That's all.
Why, of course. You very nearly made me think that you were trying to hide something, Louis.
Eh merde, il est
No,
immunisé.
I'm sure there must be other hidden messages.
He won't let go. He's going to work his way back to the Bible.
Merci lapin. Je peux pas dépenser mes points.
Dante's paradise.
Le pire c'est que ça se trouve c'est même pas là que je vais la trouver.
For what comes up here from the mortal
c'est ça que je voulais faire.
must ripen in our rays.
C'était un beau temps. Ah si voilà. Bien Fred. Alors ils ont été salauds hein, parce qu'ils l'ont appelé la salle de la tour. Alors qu'au niveau de la map ils l'appellent la chambre de la tour. Mais je pense que même s'il y a une partie multi on pourra quand même... c'est pas un jeu exclusivement multi hein, et on pourra... comment dire, les autres joueurs n'auront pas forcément la possibilité de saloper toute notre partie. Hein. Je pense qu'il y a... Bah, pour avoir été également un petit peu alerté sur le sujet, c'est un jeu qui sera ouvert multi mais qui pourra quand même s'apprécier seul. Non, moi j'ai eu mes vacances après, j'ai eu mes vacances avant et j'en aurai surtout sur la période septembre, octobre, novembre. Je travaille tout l'été. Comme en plus il n'y a pas forcément beaucoup de jeux qui sortent, ça ne me gêne pas. Alors dernière partie, l'exégèse. Dans la salle secrète de la galerie des portraits. Donc on va aller dans la galerie des portraits. Il me semble que c'est à l'étage en dessous. C'est là où il y a pas mal de tableaux. Finalement je trouve qu'on s'en est pas si mal tiré hein, parce que je me souvenais pas de tous les noms et de tous les lieux. Il ne reste plus qu'un. Alors, ça c'est quoi? Chambre, hall de Zeus, grand hall de Zeus, salle à manger, bibliothèque, galerie des portraits, voilà. De toute façon on est à l'opposé donc il n'y a pas de chemin le plus court. C'est Koro. Salut Pathéon. Bah en fait c'est un jeu d'enquête. C'est un jeu d'enquête et de choix et de décision qui ont une influence directe sur les événements. En fait c'est un jeu à choix multiples. Donc voilà, on est dans la galerie des portraits. Tac. Putain on y était tout à l'heure. L'exégèse de Judas. Donc Lapin nous en a parlé tout à l'heure. J'ai pas retenu sa définition, mais c'est un tableau. Ça c'est le petit Jésus, non?
By Velasquez.
Tu avais bien grandi d'ailleurs.
Someone's left a note there. Reserved for the Duke of Alquidia.
Bah en fait c'est un espèce de grand hôtel sur une île. Donc là c'est vrai qu'on est resté pas mal à peu près dans la même zone, mais au tout début de l'histoire, on est à l'extérieur et on rentre à l'intérieur.
The Company by Rembrandt. A meeting between Louis XIV and Philippe V.
Là par exemple, je sais pas si je peux changer d'étage, j'ai pas l'impression, mais par exemple il y a 5 étages et grosso modo on est plutôt resté sur 2-3 depuis le début. Alors je suis pas expert en art et en peinture.
Another painting by Rubens.
Avec le bol que j'ai, ça sera le dernier.
Struck by lightning by his father Apollo. François Ier, receiving the Holy Family. A painting by Raphael.
Je peux regarder celui qui est là ou pas? J'ai pas l'impression.
Painting by Ang.
Molière dining with Louis XIV. The king's posture is surprising. It's almost as if he's addressing someone in the assembly. Liberty or Death by Regnault. Well, I'll take liberty, please.
C'est la salle secrète, choucouillon, putain.
I do understand his choice, even though it seems radical.
Je me souviens même plus comment on y accède à cette salle secrète. Vous parlez d'une cheminée.
Celia. That name means nothing to me.
Putain, c'est celle-là, quelle andouille, mais quelle andouille. Il y avait les statues à positionner, je me souviens. Avec l'histoire de la méduse.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
Ça, c'était dans l'épisode 2, en fait, on avait, avec le regard de la méduse, lui avec son petit bouclier, et lui avec sa lampe torche. Et enfin lui, le soldat, alors je sais plus, quel était l'élément déclencheur. Putain, normalement tout est bien positionné, je devrais pouvoir passer. On va repositionner lui.
The lantern is already in the right position.
Ouais.
Turn toward the shield. Shield toward the sword. Well, that's good. The statue is already in the right place. That statue is not positioned correctly.
Ah, d'accord, c'est elle qu'il faut bouger. Voilà.
Open sesame.
Sésame, ouvre-toi.
The Ring of the Nibelungs. Even if Mortimer is several centuries old, I don't see what part he has in this legend.
Là, il y avait une belle épée, je m'en souviens
Given
bien.
all the relics preserved here, it wouldn't surprise me if Mortimer claimed it was Excalibur. Caesar's laurel wreath. If Mortimer really is what my mother says he is, it could mean... No, that's impossible. No, not Caesar.
Pièce de collection. Ah. Est-ce que ça serait ça?
So that's the exegesis
Yes.
of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often. Otherwise he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it.
Salut Ouroboros. Bon, on a tout récupéré. On peut trouver Sarah de Richer. Notre mère.
Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time.
En fait, là, j'avais 5 objets à récupérer. C'est ma mère qui m'a donné la liste. Et normalement, avec ces 5 objets, on doit pouvoir ouvrir une porte secrète. Là, on va retourner auprès de notre mère. Espèce de labyrinthe de verdure.
Pound.
Voilà.
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right.
Yes,
I have everything.
j'ai tout.
What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
La croix puis les clous.
My turn now.
Go ahead, impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
Ah. La croix.
The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Il faut d'abord mettre les clous alors.
Cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything.
Pourquoi il me propose pas de mettre les clous, bordel?
Cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything. Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Serrer les clous. Ah super. Oh là là. Ah c'est quoi ce bordel? Ouais. Ouais, analyser, ouais, je veux bien.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions.
Reconnaître les villes.
These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ. There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category. Clearly, we have names of towns, Arabian numerals and Roman numerals.
Je suis assez d'accord. Pour l'instant, j'arrive à peu près à suivre.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
I'll have to trust her.
Déduire une idée thématique, putain. Analyser la fresque. Heureusement que j'ai des points.
Of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues.
Il y a un L, je crois, dans Bethesda.
One thing is for sure. This enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said. Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure. This enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. It's difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more.
Comprendre les sigles NRI. Putain, j'ai plus de... Comprendre... Linguistique. Ah oui, d'accord. J'ai 2 manières différentes d'avoir la même info.
Why, of course. They're part of the initials INRI that you can find on the cross of Jesus at his crucifixion.
Ouais, bon, ben ça me... Crucifixion, ouais. Quel bordel, c'est leurs énigmes. Faire le tour à côté s'il y a quelque chose, mais je crois qu'il n'y a rien. Et il y a quelque chose avec le livre. Je sais pas le livre encore.
This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas.
Oh là 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 là, thématique. Baptême, crucifixion, je pense que c'est lié à la crucifixion vu les indices qu'on avait.
Chapter 19, verse 17.
Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
Jésus cloumain.
Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Où est-ce qu'il est? Il est là. 17. Et alors, il a été crucifié où, Pépère, là? Nazareth, c'est là où il est né, non? C'est à quel endroit qu'ils l'ont... Je sais plus s'ils l'ont dit autour. De toute façon, je peux... je crois que c'est quand on... Prendre le bottin. Merde, c'est peut-être les villes. Non, ils vont me dire thématique, crucifixion.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793,
non, proche de
in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
Putain, il n'y a pas si Jérusalem. Mauvaise langue, frère. Ok. Et ensuite, comment on fait tourner le wheeling là?
Cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything. The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see.
C'est marrant parce que
I can distinguish the letters N,
la crucifixion, ça a pas l'air d'être ça. Hein.
Nothing more. Why, of course. They're part of the initials INRI that you can find on the cross of Jesus at his crucifixion.
Putain. Là, la partie de l'histoire en général va pas nous aider. Il faut vraiment se concentrer sur la partie énigme. Putain, par contre, si c'est pas ça... Je pense que si on se concentre sur sa naissance, à mon avis, ça va pas être ça non plus. On va voir un petit peu ce que... les autres thématiques qu'on a. On a le baptême, la crucifixion, scène, jugement. Thème suivant. Miracle, naissance, trinité. Putain, ils ont fait la totale, hein.
Chapter 2, verse 6.
2, 6.
Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Tebeth at midnight,
Bethléem.
3762, in the village of Bethlehem.
Deux, 6. Bethléem. Oh là là. Fallait pas écouter notre mère.
Interesting.
Louis, you are doing what I've already done. I told you it wouldn't work.
Ah ouais, d'accord.
You need to find another subject than the birth of Christ.
Si je mets ma main, elle va tomber. Trop fort. Mais c'est marrant que l'autre association n'a pas analysé la phrase. Insérer un clou, mettre sa main. Mort de rire. Bon, déjà, on sait que ça peut marcher. Je suis très étonné que crucifixion n'ait pas marché. Thème suivant, résurrection. Je suis pas du tout spécialiste. Non, si je perds le bras, ça va pas le faire.
Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head.
Nazareth.
Chapter 24, verse 3. But when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were wondering about this, suddenly, two men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. In their fright, the women bowed down with their faces to the ground. But the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead?
Il y a trop de blabla, ils sont casse-couilles. Je veux juste les chiffres et une ville, moi. Je veux pas tout leur blabla là.
While he was still with you in Galilee." Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead
Nazareth.
on the 14th of Nisan, 3793.
Ah mais je l'ai fait, salut
He
Thierry.
appeared with a halo above his head. Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head.
Ça ouvre bien. Ah. Ça a l'air d'être mieux ça.
It works.
I hadn't seen those other wheels. But I don't know, I find this theme too close to the one that I used.
C'est quoi ce bordel là? C'est pas encore... C'est marrant, en faisant la crucifixion, ça a pas marché là, c'est la résurrection qui a... Putain, il y a encore des trucs à... Petit levier à faire... Qu'est-ce que je peux faire là? Tourner la roue... Ouais, analyser les différentes
See
roues.
what combination corresponds to the chosen theme.
Ouais, enfin là ils sont sympas, j'ai plus de points. Ils sont un peu lourdingues avec leurs énigmes. Je sens que je vais vraiment perdre un bras ce soir. Salut Gaetano. Ah c'est cool si mes tutos dans Hitman peuvent t'aider, ouais, difficulté 8, ouais non j'ai pas de points de toute façon. Mais j'arrive pas à voir à quoi ça correspond. 1A, 3J, 8... Et je comprends qu'on peut faire tourner les roues, mais... Je vois pas avec quoi il faut les faire... correspondre. Ouais, c'est super nébuleux leur truc, hein. Et le fait de pas pouvoir facilement avoir des infos là-dessus, ça aide pas. Ouais, là c'est même... je dirais même que c'est pas marrant parce qu'on comprend rien. C'est... Peut-être questionner ma mère avant de faire le coup. Ça, je peux toujours rien faire. Ah. Ah, là on peut faire quelque chose.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with a full shadowed new moon.
Ok, ensuite tester les cycles lunaires. 7, 8, 13, 19. Oh là 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 là. Ah putain. C'est quoi ce truc? Faut un bac plus 12 en énigme pour leur jeu là.
The moon shadow moves from west to east.
C'est ce qu'il m'a dit tout à l'heure. Et toi tu peux pas m'aider là, main coupée là? Mettre les coups.
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed one nail in Bethlehem, one in chapter 2, and one in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Well, although I had made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
Je comprends pas ton commentaire, Lolo. Je suis toujours en interaction avec vous. Après, mais bon, fais comme tu le sens. Alors, j'ai pillé ses réserves de médicaments ou mettre les clous. Ouais, non. Ah, elle veut pas m'aider sur le sujet. Alors, j'ai l'impression que le personnage est bloqué là. Le jeu bug. Non, sérieux. S'éloigner. Ouais, j'ai l'impression que le jeu est planté là. Ah, ça y est, c'est revenu, dis donc. Ils m'ont fait peur, hein. Non, non, c'est bon, c'est revenu. Puis alors, ce truc-là m'a pas énormément aidé, enfin... l'impression que j'ai positionné la pleine lune. C'est les chiffres. Le 1, le 3, le 8, le 6, le 17. Le 17 on le retrouve, mais c'est le 29 et le 26 que j'ai pas... Puis alors ces sigles là, pour l'instant j'ai pas trouvé de... Puis alors je sens bien que si je mets ma main il va y passer. Hein. C'est la 7, 8, 13, 19... Ouais, il n'y a pas le 26 ni le...
During new moon, the moon is entirely in shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to
de gauche à droite,
meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescents, first quarter.
Attention, je pense que c'est ce que je vais finir par faire. Hein.
Full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with a full shadowed new moon.
Vers la droite. Puis alors ça tourne en plus. Et ça commence à m'agacer cette énigme.
There must surely be a connection between the wheels.
Ouais.
There are different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels. Mother, what do you think?
As I told you, I didn't get that far. Nevertheless, these icons do represent moments in the life of Christ.
Ouais, et puis alors là, je suis pas spécialiste en... Là, est-ce que c'est quand il s'est fait crucifier? Là, c'est quand il est mort. Bah alors là, là et là, ça c'est quoi? C'est quand il est né? C'est le poupon? Enfin... Mon Dieu. Je pense qu'il faut faire correspondre les... Peut-être les... Comment ça s'appelle les visages avec les... soit les dates, soit les lieux. De toute façon, ouais, ça se cale plutôt sur les lieux. Hein. Allez, on va perdre un bras.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
Tire dessus. Tire dessus. Non. Épreuve de la foi. J'ai récupéré toutes les clés de ma mère, j'ai retrouvé la croix égarée par ma mère, j'ai obtenu de Napoléon Bonaparte une information sur la sphère armillaire, j'ai ouvert la première roue de la porte, ça c'était bien. Raté, je me suis fait trancher le bras par le mécanisme. J'aurais pu faire le bilan de Colloque avec Manuel Gaudois. C'est marrant parce qu'on nous dit qu'on l'a raté. Alors que vu son cri, il est bien passé hein, le bras. Ouais non c'était limite pas drôle. Ça pourrait être vraiment sympa, mais c'est... Puis alors l'interface, faut passer du bottin à la roue. Oh, c'est... Il y a de bonnes idées, mais c'est mal mis en sauce en fait. On va pouvoir distribuer nos petits points. Et donc voilà la fin de ce troisième épisode, il nous en reste 2. Alors pour ceux que la suite ça intéresse, malheureusement les développeurs de The Council ont un petit peu de mal à annoncer à l'avance les dates de leur sortie de jeu. D'ailleurs c'est un peu par hasard que j'ai découvert que là le troisième épisode était sorti. Je crois que c'est lors des mises à jour Steam que je m'en suis rendu compte, et ça sort généralement pas avant 2-3 mois. Donc pour ceux qui aiment bien ce genre de jeu, il y aura la dernière saison de The Walking Dead de chez Telltale qui sortira courant août. Ouais, c'est prévu en épisodique. Par contre, c'est la dernière saison. Hein. Je pense qu'ils en feront plus. D'ailleurs, je crois que Telltale est en mauvaise posture. Hein. Leur studio a vraiment. Je crois qu'ils ont des problèmes. Ils ont des problèmes économiques. Ils ont des problèmes de direction. Je pense qu'il y a quand même un petit peu moins d'engouement autour de leur. Et on va retrouver Clémentine qui aura encore bien comme on dit. Donc voilà, bah écoutez, je vais vous souhaiter une bonne soirée et puis bah je vous dis à très bientôt pour des prochaines vidéos.